motivation and choice attributes of water sports participants suggest that they are closely related to their various needs. In general, the selection attribute is explained by the consumer's choice of product or brand using information gathered through information search. In addition, this selective attribute not only provides important clues in determining consumers' behaviors, but also has a close relationship with practice and practice. The findings suggest that understanding the motivation and the optional attributes of water sports participants is closely related to their various needs. At the sports scene, optional attributes are explained by the importance and expectation that are considered important when participating in sports, and these optional attributes are reported to have a positive effects on exercise satisfaction and continuity. As suggested by previous study, the selection attributes of water sports participants are closely related to the sense of belonging and behavior and the persistence and satisfaction of sports. The sense of place attribution can be explained as a decisive factor that influences the exercise continuity as well as the participation of sports by motivation of nature-friendly sports participants. Continuation of exercise is the opposite concept of dropout, which means regular and continuous performance after an individual participates in exercise. Exercise continuity, along with the physical development of the participants, reduces the negative emotional state, which has a positive effect on mental health. Such continuous participation in sports plays a positive role in the physical and psychological health of the participants. Taken together, previous studies have eco-friendly sports, water sports participants increasingly for the health and well-being. In this period, various efforts should be made for the participants' choice of place, their continuity and satisfaction by grasping the various personalities, desires, and the motivations of water sports participants. Therefore, the purpose of this study is to investigate the influence of the selection attributes of water sports participants on the sense of belonging and exercise duration. Data analysis. First, reliability analysis and complementary factor analysis were performed using SPSS-Windows-21 and AMOS-21 statistical programs. Second, an analysis was conducted to verify the difference of measurement variables based on demographic characteristics. Third, the parameters are combined to perform integral analysis. Result. First, differences in selection attributes, place attachment, and exercise duration according to gender. There was a significant difference between the two groups. As for the difference, the female participants were higher in all the sub-factors of the optional attributes than the male participants, and the place dependency was higher in male and the female in place identity. Finally, in the tendency and intensiveness of the exercise, the female was higher and the male was higher than likelihood. Second, selection attributes, place attachment, and continuous exercise go according to exercise experience. The difference between the two groups was significant choice attribute, place attachment, and exercise persistence level were high. Especially in the optional attribute, all the sub-factors were higher than 2 years. The place dependence of place attachment was higher than 6 years, and the place identity was less than 2 years. Finally, tendency during exercise was higher than that of the 6 years or more, and and less than 2 years or more than 4 to 5 years. Third, selection attributes according to the number of participation, place attachment, verification of difference in continuous exercise. There was a significant difference between the two groups. As a result of these differences, the program sub-factors of the selected attributes showed a high level of 4 or 5 times a week. In addition, the cost, step, and convenience facilities showed once a week. The place dependence of place attachment was high 4 or 5 times per week, and the place identity was 1 time per week. The tendency during exercise was high 2 or 3 times in middle, 4 or 5 times in week, and 4 or 5 times in week. Fourth, correlation analysis between measurement variables. Correlation analysis was performed to investigate the relationship between variables set in this study. The analysis showed that the program and the cost of the selected attributes had no significant relationship with the duration of the exercise. The convenience facilities of the selected attributes showed no significant difference between the tendency of the place attachment and the continuation of exercise. Negative correlation appeared in the possibility of continuing exercise. Fifth, how selected attributes affect place attachment. The result of the multiple regression analysis was as follows. First, the influence of the optional attributes on the place dependence of place attachment was found to be as follows. Program. The sub-factors showed a positive effect on the place dependence. Second, the effects of the optional attributes on the place identity of the place attachment were found to have a positive effect on the place identity of the program and the employees. Sixth, the effect of place attachment on the duration of exercise. The results of the multiple regression analysis were as follows. First, all the sub-factors had a positive effect, and the explanation variable of the final regression model was 39.6%, and the F-value was 97.755. Second, the effect of place attachment on the likelihood of continuing exercise was positively affected only by the sub-factor of place identity, and the explanation variable of the final regression model was 17.2%, was 11.921. Third, place dependence has a negative effect on place intention, whereas place identity only affects positively respectively. The explanatory variable of the final regression model was 59.4%, and the F-value was 84.026. Seventh, effects of optional attributes on exercise duration. The results of the multiple regression analysis was as follows. First, the influence of the optional attributes on the tendency of the exercise duration was examined by the program and the convenience facilities. The explanatory variable of the final regression model was 10.4%, and the F-value was 3.274. Second, the effect of selection attributes on the likelihood of continuing exercise was positively affected by employees, and the explanatory variance of the final regression model was 18.6%, 6.449. Finally, the effects of the optional attributes on the reinforcement during exercise were positively affected by the program and the employees. The explanatory variable of the final regression model was 15.2% and the value was 5.07. Putting the results together, first, there was a statistically significant difference between the variables according to demographic characteristics. Second, there is a statistically or negatively related relationship between the measured variables. Finally, the selected attributes have a statistically significant effect on place, attachment, and duration of exercise. In conclusion, the optional attributes of water sports participants have a positive effect on place, attachment, and duration of exercise.